Hi again, welcome to Easy Electronics videos. Today we are going to talk about the concept of node voltage. I am Fatima from the EC department of the University of Utah. So basically node voltage is just voltage drop from a node with regards to a reference. Remember, we always put the negative signs at a reference. So in nature, node voltage is basically similar as altitude with respect to sea level. And V drop or voltage drop is the same as change in altitude. In other words, if you, for example, move from altitude 1, which in this example is 500 meters, to altitude 2, which in here is 170 meters, altitude drop is 330 meters. Notice this is the drop rather than the rise. That is why we say altitude drop is 330 meters. So altitudes in here are like node voltages. So we can find V drops the same as changes in altitude. The good thing is that node voltage always satisfies KVL in a circuit, and we can use to find voltage drop across any two nodes in the circuit. So let's show this with an example. For example, in this schematic, we have node voltage V1 and node voltage V2, and we want to find what is voltage drop V0. By making a triangle or a loop from reference to node V1 and then node V2, we can make a closed loop to find the KVL. So if we do that, minus V1 plus V0 plus V2 is equal to 0. And we can always make that triangle or that loop in any part of a circuit with two nodes. By solving this equation, we get V0 is equal to V1 minus V2, and that is always true. The voltage drop across two nodes is just the subtraction of the negative one from the positive one. The positive one in here is V1 and the negative one is just V2, and it always works out that way. Okay, let's show this with a practical example. Okay, this is a schematic of the same picture before, and we have built it on a board. So we are going to measure V1, node voltage V1, node voltage V2, and measure the voltage drop between them, which is V0, and see if the measurements really match with the calculations. Okay, here is the board. For the node voltage schematic, we have two 5 volts power supply that we created with USB phone charges. These two LEDs, the green one and red one, show that these power supplies are on, so good. We have our 5 volts getting involved in here. And we are going to find the voltages at V1 and V2 and see if the voltage drop V0 is really the subtraction of these two. So now let's measure the voltage across node V1. We are going to put this red lead here, and the black goes where the reference is, which is here. We get 1.6. And now let's measure the voltage across node V2. We put the red in here and the black is at the reference. We get minus 1.1. If we subtract these two and say V1 minus V2, we get around 2.7. And that is the voltage drop we are expecting to get across V0. So let's measure the voltage drop across V0 and see if really the measurement is equal to what we calculated. Again, we put the positive where the pink pin is. V1 with positive minus V2 with negative 2.7. That is exactly matching what we expected it. And the node voltage helped us to find voltage drop. Thank you.